Hello, hello, it's Tash and Ro.
Welcome to or welcome back to
It's Saturday,
your personal self-care pod where you can escape the work week and unwind with your two besties.
no matter what day of the week it is, but for us, it's Saturday.
All right, it's been months, it's been years, it's been too long.
I feel like I've lived 1,000 lives in the last couple weeks.
I feel like I died and came back to life after Vegas.
I died a couple times, came back to life a couple times. Shout out to Tums.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hot girls have stomach issues.
Literally.
It's so true.
Oh my God, guys.
Okay,
Welcome back.
welcome. Buckle in, you guys. This whole episode is going to be about my bachelorette trip in Vegas with 7 of my best friends. And we're going to run it back and we're going to start at the very beginning.
Viva Tash Vegas. Buckle up.
Viva Tash Vegas.
It's not just a bachelorette, it's a lifestyle.
It is. It's a cult.
Bachelorettes are cults though.
Yeah, Hannah Berner's bit on that, guys. If you haven't watched Hannah Berner's Rewrite It Dawn, it's actually really funny. Like, really, really good. And there's a whole bit on bachelorettes and it's true.
It's true.
It's true. Okay, let's start with the beautiful itinerary that you made and the themes that we brainstormed together.
And we will add these. Maybe we can even just make this like an Instagram post where we have like all the little inspo pages that I had.
Yeah, the mood boards.
Yes.
Those were,
let me pull them up.
Those were everything.
Okay, so the itinerary was this. We land on Thursday. Planet Hollywood, which we felt like was the best bang for our buck.
Yeah.
But also like the bathrooms were huge.
Dude, huge key thing in booking this because we're 4 girls. Imagine 4 girls in one bathroom with one vanity. Like you can't.
No.
This
place had 2 vanities. It was huge. You could literally, it was another room in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was massive.
And they had early check-in and late checkout available, which was blessed because we got there at noon. So we were able to check in very early. Like I think we literally checked in right when we got there, which is...
Yeah, I think we checked in like even early, like right before noon. Yeah, it was sick.
So that was good. And then, so the first night we had the theme Lucky in Love, which so cute. We were all wearing red.
Everyone was wearing red. It was so cute. And I felt like it was perfect because we'll get into where we went later that night, but we went to Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant and I felt like that was just like Paris. Like I think of love, I think of red. So I felt like that was just so on brand for that night.
It literally looked like we were made for that restaurant. We walked in, everything was red. There was red roses everywhere. It was just like,
oh my God, there were.
We
took
so,
some.
It was so romantic. Whoops. And the Lucky in Love. So everyone wore red. Mm-hmm. Tash just wore white the whole time.
I wore white. I wore ivory that night, but yeah, I pretty much wore white the whole weekend. It was sick.
We had disco cowgirl during the day. So that was sick. So it was just like bathing suits with cowgirl hats and a lot of metallics, a lot of glitter. It was just fun.
It was a vibe.
And then we had Her Something Blue.
I really like that one.
So cute. I loved it.
All my something blues. And there was all the shades of blue. So like it was perfect.
Yeah. And then during the day, one of the days we did Drunken Love. So it was like pinks and oranges. I thought it looked we looked super cohesive at all times, but everyone had their own take on the themes, which I loved.
I loved that. Yeah. And I love for that day too, like there was a balance of oranges and pinks. It wasn't like everyone did pink or everyone did orange. And it kind of would have looked like, okay, what's the theme here? Like everyone without even like planning that just like had different shades and it just blended so well.
Yeah. And then the last night we did Rip Her Last Name, so black. And it was just, it was giving for the last name.
Yeah. It was just a funeral, a final send for my long last names.
So good. So good. Okay. So from the beginning, so the first night, actually me, Tash and Hannah took a train to Montreal to meet Anita because we flew out early in the morning on Thursday. So Wednesday night we took the train. I would say the train ride was one of the highlights of the trip. I had so much fun on this train.
Guys, if you are able to, I highly encourage you to get business class for your next train ride, because I've ridden economy trains more times than I can count. And this was the first time I did business. And it was just so much better. And I don't think I can ever go back now.
But also I was thinking about this too. Okay, yes, it's more expensive to do business, but we got literally like a 3-course meal, unlimited booze.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think we got like 4 or 5 drinks on this plane.
Yeah,
on this train. And
it felt like a plane.
It literally felt like a plane. It was so fun. And it was just sick because we had this little table. We were all sitting at it, and it was just, I don't know, it was worth it to me.
Yeah, we had like our own like just little section going on. Our server, like train attendant, it's not a flight attendant, train attendant. He was so funny. And like I gotta say, like wearing the bride cowboy hat, guys, like I felt like the Queen of England. Like I was getting the special treatment. We were getting the special treatment everywhere we went, and it literally started at the train.
It literally started at the train. The guy comes over. He keeps refilling our drinks. He gave us a bunch of chocolate. He was just like, "Here, take all the rest of the chocolate." Yeah. Gave us a bunch of bread. Like it was just like,
yeah, what? He gave us extra bread. Like, so we had choices for meals, and we chose the Swedish meatballs, and it was so like serendipitous as well because we got the 3 last meatballs, and we were just like, oh my god, like it was meant to be, like these meatballs.
And there was 3 of us.
There's 3 of us. It was meant to be, and they were actually really good. And it came with like a little dessert, like a salad. Like it was so yummy. And literally we had so much fun. We almost forgot our luggage like on the train we were leaving.
Okay, so the night before this train ride, I have a dream, and you guys know about my dreams. Like I have these random dreams. I had a dream that we forgot our luggage on the train. Okay, and I said this to you.
You did.
So before we get on the train, I go, Tash, I had a dream last night that we forgot our luggage on the train, and she's like, we're not gonna forget our luggage on the train. We're literally leaving the train.
We're down the steps. We're going down the stairs. We're like,
and we're buzzed. Like we've had like a few drinks out, and then I look at Tash. I go, our luggage. And
no, first you're like, our package. And I'm like, what package? She's like, no, our luggage. And I'm like, oh fuck, our luggage. And I'm like, hold the train.
Like run back. I'm like, how did we actually, like, I had this dream and we were about to live the dream out. Like,
dude,
are you freaking
this
kidding
just
me?
happened the same thing. We went to Bahamas and we bought a bunch of alcohol at the duty free, and then we left it on the plane, and this time we actually forgot about it until we like were off the plane, like getting our luggage, and we ended up getting it back. But like you just get so excited, and like excitement just takes over like logic in your brain, I feel, and you just forget like all the important things you need to do.
I'm putting a reminder on my phone, multiple reminders about your dress for the wedding. Like we are not leaving that until I'm gonna put a reminder every hour.
Yeah,
like,
dress, get the dress. It's true, especially because for me, especially when something's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Yes,
and like that's definitely how I live my life, and we can't forget the dress. That's for sure.
No. So yeah.
So we arrive in Montreal and we take an Uber to Anita's, and in true Anita fashion, she has her whole like apartment set up for us. She opens the door. Wait, no, first we start walking to the door and we just hear Shania Twain playing, obviously. We're like, oh, what's going on over there? Like get to the door. There's like a sign, balloons. We open the door and Anita's there with 4 shots like ready for us.
So freaking cute.
What
like
a
blasting
dream.
Shania Twain. And we get there and she has this like cute little table set up, has little gifts for us. It was just like the best.
Oh my gosh.
Night. It was
such a great hostess.
And then I was like, how are we going to sleep? We have to get up at 4 a.m. There's no way we can sleep. Like we're all just so wired.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready to go.
So excited. We were like, okay, around 10:30, we were like, okay, like we gotta try and like get to sleep. So like Hannah and Romina are sleeping in the living room on the bed, and I'm sleeping with Anita in her room. Also, side note, Anita literally kicked her husband out of their home because she was like, listen, we're gonna be way too excited. Like you're gonna need to leave. Like you have to work the next day, and like you don't want to be around us. So Kaylin, thank you.
You have to go.
He had to leave, and like we're just in our bed and like we're trying to sleep, and then we just like hear you guys giggling, and then I feel like you guys are trying to sleep, and you hear us giggling. And we're just like, oh my gosh, like. It was like Christmas Eve.
It was literally Christmas. And right before we went to bed, actually, this is a funny story. So you were taking a shower and then Anita goes, guys, like I bought this pair of shorts. And then when I got home, I realized they forgot to take the magnet out and we leave tomorrow. And like, I don't have time to go to the store. So we're like Googling how to take these magnets out. I find that I'm like, did you go on TikTok? She's like, no, I didn't go on TikTok. Or maybe she did, but
TikTok University.
Literally, I was like, it's a university. We find this like trick of using these 2 forks and we're able to take the freaking magnet out, and I'm like, This is just like the start of a great
Dude,
trip.
I could hear you guys in the background while I was showering, and I was literally like, what the fuck are they doing out there? Like, I heard like prong and get electrocuted and this and that. And I'm like, what are you guys
like, bring
doing?
out the toolbox. Like,
that's actually really impressive because sometimes those can be like filled with ink or like other stuff. So that's pretty crazy.
And she wore those shorts. So shout out. Like,
shout out to you guys.
Able to wear
There's
them.
nothing you guys can't do.
No.
Charlie's Angels. Shout out.
So good. But yeah, I think we got like 3 hours of sleep that night. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like I was waking up every hour, you know, and I know it's gonna, well, thankfully Italy, we leave like more in the afternoon, so it won't be like as bad, but I just like, when I have to wake up at a certain time early, I wake up like every hour because I'm afraid I'm gonna sleep through my alarm, even though I would never do that because I'm the latest sleeper ever. But yeah, I felt like I barely slept.
No, same. And then we got up, but waking up at 4 a.m. to go to Vegas with your best friends, it's like a different, like, we got up quick. I
literally put on Waking Up in Vegas by Katy Perry on my phone, and I was just like, yeah, like, let's go. Anita quickly made us like cappuccinos. We were getting ready, putting on our fits, and then we were off to the airport.
Yeah. And we get to the airport, guys, like, because she had this like hat that said bride, and then we were all wearing like matching cowgirl hats. We got the red carpet treatment at the airport. Like, everyone was just like, skip this line, come over here. Yeah. How can we help you? Like, da 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 da. Congratulations.
Literally, staff was taking photos with us too.
God, I forgot about that.
This one guy like stopped us and he was like, wait, look, my friend who works here, it's his birthday tomorrow. Can I get a picture with you guys?
And we're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Can you tip
us?
us?
Yeah, I'm like, can you actually take a picture of us first? Like, wait, what?
That was so funny.
And then also, like, literally when we were about to go through security, one of the girls like is it Hannah? She took Hannah. And she was like, oh girl, like, come here, like, random search, like, you have to come through this way. And Hannah was like, oh shit. And then she's like, oh, like, tell all your friends they have to come with you. And then
wink
we all
face.
Went like winky wink. Yeah. And then really she just did that. She really opened Hannah's bag and was like, okay, you're good. Now you guys can skip the long ass line because you went through this part. So we got to miss this whole line. And
so good.
I just always need to wear this hat.
No, like, we need to get you something for Italy, or just bring the hat and
yeah, just wear it on the plane.
Because
honestly, not a bad call.
Yeah, bring it. Because honestly, like, even like the people giving out drinks, because now on Air Canada you get like free booze. They were just coming around more often. They were just giving Tash the bottle,
the full bottle of wine.
Yeah,
I don't think they're allowed to do that.
No, they were just breaking all the rules. But no, it was amazing. And then so another story. So we get on the airplane, and right away I'm like, I want to tell the flight attendants to like go on the intercom and say like, Tash Money's like bachelorette. So you're like kind of ahead, and I like kind of quickly tell them, I'm like, hey, can you guys, it's her bachelorette, can you say Tash Money's bachelorette? And the girl's like, okay. Anyway, every announcement that came on, I'm like videotaping, like, because I don't know when they're gonna say it. So like the announcements come on for safety, and I'm like taking a video, and it's kind of like it got kind of weird. I was like, I don't know why I'm taking video. Like, I'm just like taking a video of myself, and you're kind of like looking like, why is she like, fucking taking a video of herself?
I was like, the first one was like, oh, this is fun memories, and I'm like, okay, this is enough, right? Like, why are you taking like every time, or like Anita would take her camera out, Sean would have her camera out, and I'm like, woo, yeah, like that's right, let's go. I felt like cameras on me, like let's go.
So they go through all the things, and they never said anything. So then I'm like, okay, did they just forget? Like, what's going on? So then I got annoyed, but we take off. And then I'm trying to get like the person's attention, but I'm trying not to be like obvious about it. So then Anita goes, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll ask. I was like, hey, good idea. Yeah. So she goes and she's like, hey guys, like, you're supposed to say like Tash Money's bachelorette. She goes, okay, we heard a Trash Money's bachelorette, and they were like, we ran it by the pilot, and he goes, we can't say that. We can't say that on the intercom. We can't say Trash
We're gonna get
Money.
Sued.
We're like, no, Tash. And then she goes, you know what? Just say Natasha. And they were like, okay.
Just say something, please. Thank you so much.
So they said it when we were landing. But anyway, it was just so funny. We're like, what? Why didn't they say anything? Like, what's going on?
Dude, there's also another bachelor party like right beside us as well.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And then guys, I sit in the plane, and the first thing that happens is the guy in front of me puts his seat all the way back before the plane even takes off. Yes. And I'm like, are you like, this is not the vibe.
I was like, and then he was also kind of weird. He had like all these scratches on him. We're like, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, he looked like he got in a motorcycle accident, and then he tried to convince us that he got jumped in Orleans of all places.
okay, but he also said Avalon, which is like the nicer neighborhood that's just being built. I go, where in Avalon did you get jumped? Anyway, I was like, sounds
Seemed
fake.
a little sus with your diamond encrusted watch and their third time in Vegas this month. I was like, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ended up putting up his seat. God bless. But like literally, he put his seat back before the plane even left, and I was that bitch, and I was like to the flight attendant, I'm like, are we allowed to have our chairs back right now? Like, are we not supposed to have it like in the upright position? She's like, oh no, until takeoff, like it's fine. I was like, fuck, like
yeah, no, like, and he was moving out around a lot. Like God. It wasn't just like his seat was back. He was also just like
he was a big
around.
Man. He was a big boy, but he ended up putting it up because Hannah was like, excuse me, can you start doing that? Like the bride's behind you, and he was like, oh shit, sorry, like let me put it back up.
Oh my
God.
Like,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
She's
you
a
so
bride.
Much. I'm the bride.
No, the bachelor party was fun too. They were drinking up. They had like, and it was also an early morning flight. So I was like, we'll get some wine, but we're like, can we make it spritz? Like it's so early. It's like 10 a.m.
Even though at that point we already had a Caesar at breakfast.
Wait, I forgot about that. We like literally get to the airport. We're like, where's the alcohol?
Yeah, we're like, where can I get some bacon and a Caesar? Thank you so much.
So funny.
And then we land, and again, actually the vibes at that point where they were high, but we ended up going to the wrong terminal to pick up our luggage.
We just start walking, like, you know, when someone like kind of takes the lead and is like, it's this way, and then nobody asks questions because you're in a big group, so you're like,
following the herd
this way. And I'm like, it's a huge airport. Like, there's only one baggage claim area. I was like kind of surprised because like even Denver, like airport, like there's like multiple baggage places. And then we're just there, and we get there, and then they're like, no, you're in the wrong section of the airport. We're like, oh, whoops, it's like first mistake.
Because my friend Rowan was at the terminal waiting for us.
Yes.
And then she's like, I'm right when you come down the escalator. I'm like, perfect. Like come down the escalator. I'm like, you're not here. And she's like, you're not here. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, where are you? She's like, where are you? And I'm like, frig, we're definitely not at the right place, like at all.
No.
Anyway, we figured it out, and then we had a master plan at this point to get a limo or an SUV to take us directly to the Hollywood. What keeps saying Hollywood sign? I said
that too.
Las Vegas sign.
Yeah, because it's kind of like off the strip a little bit, like it's like down the strip at the end. So we're like, you know what, this is perfect. It's really hot outside, so we can't walk all the way there. You know what I mean? So we meet this lady, and her name is Rowena. Look, I'm like, girl,
literally your M, but just turned upside down, which is insane.
And she was very nice. And at first I was kind of like, hey, what's your business card? Yeah. Like, I was like, I'm not just getting into some random van with you.
Dude, that made me, after that point, I got so paranoid about it too. I was like, wait, that's such a good point. Like I took a picture of the license plate. I'm like, someone has to be in the car at all times. Cause what if someone like steals her car and all of our luggage is in here? I was just like, my alerts were on after that. I was like, shit.
And we were like, I was like hustling too. I'm like, okay, like for how much? She's like $70. Like I'll bring you to the Hollywood sign, Las Vegas sign. And then I'll bring you back. I'm like, okay, throw in a bottle of champagne in there. And she was like, okay. She had to literally go to the store to buy just champagne. And we're like, okay. But no, it was really fun. Like I'm so glad we did that because we got our pictures.
Got out of the way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe like already at like 11 in the morning, because I'd been to the sign before and there was a really, really long line when Matt and I went. But I'm like, 11 in the morning on a Thursday. I'm like, there's no way the line is going to be that long. No, guys, the line was so long. So if you do go to the Las Vegas sign, a little hack is don't wait in the line. It's going to take way too long. Instead, you're just going to go off to either the left side or the right side. Doesn't really matter. And you'll be able to get like the angled photo like we all got in front of the sign. And it's literally the exact same thing.
It looks the exact same. Like you wouldn't be able to see, like tell that we were like on the side of it.
Yeah.
No, it looks the same.
Don't wait in line, and really, unless your hotel is close, like don't walk. Like in the heat, it takes so long and you get so tired. It's just like not worth it. Just pay the $10 for whatever the Uber is and get your ass there way quicker.
Yeah. So we took our pictures, and then the vibes are so high at this point. We've had some champagne. We've just been drinking since like the crack of dawn. And
you can drink anywhere in Vegas. You can drink on the strip. The lady let us drink in the car.
You can drink
there's
anywhere.
no rules. There's literally no rules.
There's no rules in Vegas. And so then we get to the hotel. We get early check-in, and then we send the girls off downstairs so that we could start decorating the room. And it's funny because right before this trip, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna need Hannah to do some kind of balloon arch or something. And then we like just did it ourselves.
Yeah,
we just did it ourselves.
You did a good job.
Yeah, no, Reagan was like, we don't need Hannah. We got this. Like, we're gonna do this ourselves. And so we just did it ourselves. And honestly, I think it turned out pretty good.
No, it turned out really good. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So we were just like, we didn't want to like be like, Hannah, you have to leave. Like, you have to come help us with this like balloon thing. So we're just like, you know what? We can figure it out. Like, there's 3 of us. Like, let's figure it out. So we did. Okay, so then the room was all decorated. You guys came up. We did the grand reveal.
Guys, so sick. You guys killed the decorations. There were literally like Matt's faces everywhere. You bought me this like beautiful like long like gown to put on. There was a picture of Matt's like face on like this macho guy who was like pin the panties.
Yeah.
So funny because Matt's least favorite word in the whole world is panties. So I'm like, this is so freaking funny. You guys got me a little gift. I'm actually wearing some of it now. Guys, if you zoom in right now, if you're watching the video, I got the most beautiful one. We definitely would have got one.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so freaking cute, so sweet. They got me an emotional support pickle, which I literally have in my bedroom now, like on my vanity, and I look at him every day.
So
and then you got me a bunch of film and a little booklet to put like all my Polaroid photos in.
From the weekend, yeah.
It was so cute.
Yay. It was so much fun. I like doing that part was so fun, and like getting your like reaction was just like, now we're ready. Like, thank God we got early check-in too, because then it was like only like 3 o'clock by the time like everything was ready, everything was done. And that way we could like start getting ready because our dinner rezo at Paris was at like 7. So we start getting ready, and the double vanity was just so clutch for getting ready because we just like each had our own vanity.
No, it was perfect. Like, and like the mirrors were nice and big. Like sometimes in hotel rooms the mirrors can be small and round, but this was just like a giant like rectangle mirror, and it was
cool.
Literally perfect. Also, I just need a side note. While you guys were decorating and working your asses off, me, Hannah, Shauna, and Rowan were drinking our faces off downstairs by the pool. And it was kind of funny because we walk out and like there's a pool that's like really obvious. We like went over to that pool, and there's like a bunch of cabanas, but it says like rent me. So we're kind of like, oh, like we're not allowed to go there. And we're like, oh, let's just like put our stuff there. And if someone tells us we have to pay, we'll just be like, oh, sorry, we didn't know. We put our stuff, we go in a pool, and like the music is good, but like there's kids around. We're kind of like whatever, we're doing our own thing. We like ordered like a giant thing of like frozen margarita. We finished that, and then Ramon's like, oh, like let me go to the bar and like get like us another round. So she goes, and then she comes back and she's like, guys, there's literally like an adult pool like right on the other side. We just went right when we should have went left. Then we go left to the other pool, and it was way more age appropriate. There were no kids. There was an actual like DJ, like people in the pool were actually partying.
So much better.
So then we got to experience that, and I was glad we got to do that because other than that, we didn't really get a chance to explore the amenities of the hotel.
I didn't see this pool at all.
We were so busy, but the pool was massive and it was really fun. And a part of me just felt bad because I'm like, I know you guys are working so hard up there, and meanwhile we're just like drinking, hanging out.
Don't worry, we were also like every 5 seconds, Anita would be like, "Hey, shot break." Because we were like, me and Rick were like, let's go. We're like trying to finish as fast as possible. And then Anita's like, guys, we have to drink as well because these guys are going to get fucked up and we're going to be sober. I'm like, yeah, true.
Yeah. So especially being in the sun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So she like literally would just like, she was like in charge of the shots. She would just pour the shots and be like, shot time. And like, we'd just like take our shots, back to work.
Well-deserved shot break. So funny.
Blowing up balloons and taking shots gets you kind of drunk. Like,
yeah,
just like
you're lightheaded, and then the alcohol. That's like a little party hack, guys. If you're trying to get more drunk at your pre-drink, blow up some balloons while you're drinking before you go out.
Seriously.
There we go.
But no, honestly, even like the blending of friend groups of this trip, like obviously like there was a lot of our like friends that we hang out with here, but like Rowan and like Alex and like all these people we don't regularly see. Yeah. Like obviously Alex we see sometimes, Rowan I barely ever see. So it's just so fun to get like such a good group. And by the end, I feel like we were all like this. Like we were so close.
Gosh. I knew you guys would be. It made me like so happy happy to like be like look this way and then see you and Roman together and look that way and then like see Alex and Shauna together. And it's like, oh, it's just so nice where it's like everything just worked out so well.
And we were kept being like, see you in Italy. Like it was just so
I
nice
know.
to say that, you know?
Oh my gosh. So fun.
So fun.
We make our way over at this point now. We're heading to Lisa Vanderpump.
Yep.
And gorgeous, stunning restaurant. It was kind of hard to find because it's kind of like all of these like hotel places are kind of like these big malls, really. Like literally like these big buildings with casinos and malls in them and have all these restaurants. So it was kind of hard to find, but once we found it, it was like, okay, this is definitely the place because the decor of it was honestly like impeccable. Like outside, like there's just like so much greenery and plants, but inside is kind of like gothic, moody kind of vibes. Like a little like mid-century, like these big tables. I love when like not everything is the same. Like there were different sizes of tables, like different chairs, like different sections. And our table was like this really nice, beautiful long table at the back.
Loved it.
And the menus came on like these giant like newspapers almost. It was so like the, cool. I forget what it was, like the Journal or something like Vanderpump Paris. I will say it was definitely really pricey.
Yes.
But it was really yummy.
It was really, really good. And like you're paying for the vibe. You're paying for like the atmosphere. Like, you know what I mean? And I will say Vegas it is pricey. Like drinks in general, everything's like more expensive.
Oh my
and
God,
also
of
the
course.
Canadian dollar is just shit. So you have to consider that too. Like we kept converting and like really what. And also another thing too, if you're taking cabs in Vegas, like we were just putting mostly everything on credit cards and then just like cash some places, but most of the cabs charge you for credit cards. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like if you want to bring more cash and just pay cash for cabs, they charge you like $3. And so it's like if you're taking a $7 ride and then it's like $3 added. If there's like a full cab, it's kind of whatever. But then if you're just one person, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. So that's just like something to keep in mind. Splitwise though, thank God for Splitwise. I don't think we would have been able to do this trip without Splitwise.
Even with Splitwise, we were kind of like, wait, what? But like this makes it so much easier. Like definitely any group trip you guys have, download Splitwise. It kind of sucks. Like back in the day, it used to have no ads. You can add as many transactions as you want to, but now they limit you to 3 per day unless you get like the unlimited one. But still, regardless, definitely get the app. It makes any kind of money splitting so much easier.
And a lot of places in the States, and I think most places, they don't do like split bills. Like they barely do split bills. So like we kept being like, can we get split bills? And they're like, no, like you can only do like one bill. So a lot of the times we'd have to like take a picture of the bill and just figure it out later. So it just makes it easier with Splitwise because then it's like just add what you got. You know what I mean?
Then after Lisa Vanderpump, we went to Australia. We went from Paris to Australia because we went to Thunder Down Under, which was so much fun.
So fun.
Highly recommend going if you're in Vegas.
It was actually hilarious. It was funny and also just like a great time.
Yeah, the MC was really, really funny. And I feel like when you have a good MC, like it makes, whether it's a comedy show or this kind of show or a wedding, like it just really makes the experience. I will say though, literally every bride got brought up on stage except for me.
It's because you were the most beautiful and they were intimidated. That's what I kept saying. Because no, literally guys, like they would look at Tash and they were like, oh, like not her. Like she's too pretty. Like they were bringing up.
We can't break this one. We can't hurt her.
They like, yeah. So they were bringing up like literally all these people on stage and we're kind of like, wait, what? And then also remember the whole Reagan Bradley thing? So
yeah, that was so crazy.
So
what are the chances?
So at one point they go like, everyone like tag us, like take pictures and tag us. And then we're going to pick someone from the crowd to like as a winner and they can come take pictures with us, which was also kind of like, that's the prize. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, then they go with this girl named Reagan Bradley. So then Reagan's like gets up and she's like, what? Like she didn't even, I don't think, tag them or anything in a photo. So then she was just like, but that's my name. I think
she followed them on Instagram maybe. I don't know.
So then she was like, oh, okay. So she goes on stage and then another girl goes on stage. She goes, my name's also Reagan Bradley. And then they're just like,
they're like, wait, what do we do? What do we do? They're like, okay, let's bring both of them backstage. So both Reagan Bradleys got to go take some pics in the back.
That's crazy. I like imagine I met another Romina Fowler.
I really don't think that's ever gonna happen to you.
Imagine I'm just on stage like Momina Fakhrai, and then some other girl's like, wait, that's my name. I'd be like, bro, what?
Like, you're a liar.
Sit down. How do you spell it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, but no, that was so funny. And then the show was actually really good. Like I didn't know what to expect, but it was actually a really good show. Like they put on a performance.
They did. One of my favorite things was watching Anita's reaction to everything. Like her just face was just like, she was just shocked. She was like, wait, what the heck? It was really, really fun.
They had so many costume changes and like all the different.
Yeah, they're really good
outfits.
dancers.
Oh,
like
really
they know
good.
how to move their body and like dance.
Yeah. It was really
bravo,
good.
Boys. Bravo.
Yeah.
And after that, we kind of called it quits because at that point it was like 12:30, but for us that's 3:30 in the morning.
And we had been up since like 4.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, we gotta go back, get a good night's sleep because we had a full send the next day.
Yes. And so guys, before we got on this trip, okay, I'm going with this guy. Because there's like other ones I was talking to, but I was like, you're taking too long. You're kind of stringing me along. Like I need answers. I need confirmation.
And you found this guy on TikTok, which is another cool tip, guys. If you go to Vegas, you're looking for a promoter. Well, one, ask us for our promoter because he's the best. Yeah. But just go on TikTok and do your research.
Exactly. And this guy was young, so that's why he was also on TikTok. I feel like the other ones are a bit older. But yeah, he was like, I got you guys hooked up for the next day for Tao Beach Club. And I was like, okay, let's see if this actually works, because you can always talk to people, but then I'm like, what if we get there and they're like, you're not on a list? Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, hopefully this works. So then we get to Tao. There's like a general admission line, and then there's like a VIP line. We go to the VIP line. They're like, right this way. Another thing about Vegas is like, you are not only going through like one person, you're going through like multiple checkpoints. And then at each checkpoint there's a stamp, so you're by the end having like 20 stamps in your arm
and like, a bracelet and then like they're so specific, like this arm at this spot, and we're like, okay, like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Just let me in,
just let me in.
Free stuff.
And Tao Beach Club is sick because from 12 to 1 women drink for free.
Got there right at 12.
We got there straight on time. And it was like so nice because we got to just drink for free for the first hour.
We drank for free for the first hour, guys. And like, not gonna lie, like when we walked in, we all had like our cowboy hats and like we're all looking really good. Like I just walked around and this one security guard comes up to me and he's like, hey, like, do you guys have a booth? And I was like, no. And he's like, do you want one? And I was like, yeah. Sure. And they're like, okay, there's like this bachelor party, like they have a sick booth like over there, like they want you guys to join them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, let's go. And then like it's always like I was always wondering like, what's it gonna be like? Because I knew at one point we would meet like guys and it'd be a bachelor party, and I'm like, oh, are they gonna be weird? Are they gonna be creepy? Like, what's the vibe gonna
need
be?
Something in return, like, oh, I invited you to this booth, so now what? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like add me on Splitwise. Like not the vibe. We get there and honestly, like these guys couldn't have been more like our group of guys like back here, like our husbands and our boyfriends that we all hang out with all the time. Like they were just like nice, funny, cool guys. And the funniest thing was that the groom's name was Matt.
That was also just so funny. You're like, what? You're like, what's your wife's name? Is it also Natasha? That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like Lauren or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, close. Close enough. I have an L in my last name. It's like basically the same thing.
No, they were all like either married or like in relationships. And so it was perfect because our group, other than like Alex. She was the only single one.
We're like, if we need to sacrifice someone, like, here's Alex.
Here's Alex, our single friend. Like, you know, but no, they were like super sweet. And like, it was just nice to have a cabana because like A, it's shaded and it was like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
B, you had a private pool, which is also sick.
Yeah.
And the security guard was so nice. He became our friend by the end.
Became our friend. And the guys were super cool because we were like, hey, like, I hope you don't think we're like stuck in here now. Like, can we like still like go to the DJ? Like, we kind of just got here and they're like, oh yeah, like come in and out as you want, like no pressure. And we're like, okay, great. And then they had a bunch of booze for us and we were just hanging out.
It was so fun.
And the DJ was really good. It was Xandra, this girl. And I mean, I don't think I've ever listened to her before really, but she was playing all these songs that you just know once you hear them, and she was playing some throwbacks like of these old like Titanium, like all these like OG like house songs, and the vibes are just insane.
So her and Alex Earl used to be like best friends, which is crazy. Xandra, and then they had like a falling out.
Is she the one?
She's like
that took like a picture of her when she was like naked.
I don't know if it was her, but she had like her. She's also an influencer, but they were like influencer friends, but they had a falling out. So we don't know exactly what happened, but they had a falling out. I want to dig
deeper on that.
Yeah, so it's just funny because I'm like, oh, but you're so close to the DJ too. Like the DJ's just there, and you're like,
yeah,
literally you can like touch the DJ. Like it's very. Got like random food.
We
like
went literally at a food court, and we got like Chipotle. I got Chinese food, which was my like demise later because I ended up getting like really bad like tummy issues. But I digress. Yeah. We got food, we go back, we start to get ready, and then that night we're going to Omnia, which is this huge ass big club. And our promoter hooked us up with a table, a booth, and a bottle at the club, like dead center by the stage.
Yeah, and this club is massive, guys. It's like 3 different levels. Like I don't even
thousands
know
of people.
Thousands of people fit in this club.
It's like there's like clubs within the club. It's like if you take the wrong turn, like you're like, wait, this is the same place, but I'm in a different club and I'm confused.
No, literally, me and Hannah went to the bathroom. We were trying to leave, and we made a wrong turn. We end up at a different club that's playing R&B music, and it's not Steve Aoki, and we're like, where are we? Like, where the heck are we? Like, it was a different place altogether. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I will say, like, if you're waiting in line for general admission, like that line was so long. I don't know how long people had to wait, but we were just like, again, like went to the front. They're like, welcome. Like, here you go. And okay, another awkward thing that happened while we're waiting in line. I think you guys were, I don't know what happened with you guys.
I went to go round up the other girls that were arriving.
Yes. So me and Anita are waiting for the other girls to come, and this random guy comes up to me and he goes, oh, and he looked like he's wearing a suit. He clearly works at the place that we're going, and he goes, hi, like, oh, what's your name? Like, he has like a thing out, like almost like as if he's checking like my name. So I go, oh, my name's Romina. He goes, I know. And he like pulls out his phone and he goes, I'm one of the promoters that you ghosted, blah, 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 blah. Like pretty much trapped me into this conversation. And I go,
so fucking awkward.
It was honestly one of the most awkward things I've ever had to deal with. I was just like, yeah, like I'm talking.
This guy wasn't doing enough, so like, no, sorry.
Literally. And like the reason that these, like if you're wondering like why do promoters want girls to get things for free, like how are you guys getting this stuff for free, like what do you have to do? Essentially what happens is you're pretty much just like bringing people to the club. So us standing in line in the VIP section waiting for them to get our table ready, we were standing at the front, so people are walking by the clubs and they're like, oh, look at those pretty girls going into the club. So we're kind of like baiting people to go to this club, that's pretty much what like we're there for. And like even when we get the table, usually what happens is we use this table or booth, we get a free bottle, and then if someone buys the table, then they're like, you guys have to leave because it's like $10,000 for one table.
Literally so crazy expensive.
It's crazy, but we literally we got invited to multiple tables.
Yeah, so we literally would leave the free booth, and then we would walk around and then be like, hey, do you want to come in our booth? And we'd be like, okay, sounds good. You guys seem cool. What's that? And then that night Steve Aoki was coming on, but he didn't come on until like 1:30 in the morning. So and at that point, guys, like I was just battling whatever was going on in my tummy. I had taken Tums, I had taken Advil, like nothing was helping me. I don't know if it was the Chinese food or maybe it was the fact that I had been drinking all day in the heat. I'm just a girl. I don't
Literally.
know. But around like 1:30, I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like I just have to like go home and like sleep and rest because I just really didn't feel well. So I said like, salute, see you later. I left my girls. They had a booth at that point. So I felt so much better. I was like, literally I was like, told Anita, I'm like, I need to leave right now. And then she's like, okay, I'll leave with you. Like my tummy kind of hurts too. And then you're like, Tash, we got a booth. And I was like, oh my God, I literally can't do this right now. I go and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm like, I gotta go. Like, so happy you guys have this spot, but I gotta leave.
General admission at Omnia is like terrifying. There's so many people.
It's gross.
It's like shoulder to shoulder. It's just not my type of club. Like I like being like not shoulder to shoulder. So it was just like,
I like not being touching random people that are sweaty and disgusting.
Yeah. So if you're not in a booth, like it's like also every booth comes with this security guy pretty much that's like in charge of you, protects you from like random people, because it also is Vegas. It's like sketchy things happen, so it is kind of nice like having that option of just like being like, okay, we're in this booth, it's more safe than being in this like crowd of people.
No, at one point like trying to get through it felt like a festival like in a mosh pit. Like it was too much, and I think that also heightened my like sickness. I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I left, you guys stayed, you had a great time.
Yes.
Next day we wake up and
we get ready and we're going to like the strip, like just walking around the strip, gambling.
Drunken love.
Yes. Oh, we go to brunch first. We wake up, we go to brunch.
We go to Lotus of Siam.
Lotus of Siam. It's like a Thai restaurant. Okay, crazy part about this is like I booked this restaurant, they're Lotus of Siam. I did some research on TikTok and they were like, this place has free booze or free mimosas from 12 to 1. I'm like, perfect. Yeah. Email them. I'd like book the reso, whatever. We get there and I'm like, oh, so like where's the free like champagne 12 to 1? They're like, free champagne? I'm like, what are you talking about? From 12 to 1, like mimosas, like where is it at?
That's why we're here.
They're like, oh, you must be talking about Lotus of Siam at Flamingo. This is Lotus of Siam. Oh no, Lotus of Siam at Red Rock. This is Lotus of Siam at Flamingo. I go, how many like, freaking Lotus of Siams over there? Like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
so misleading. Like, get a different name.
Like, what? But it's the same like chain, but I guess like, there's two different. But you would think that the same like, restaurant would have the same thing.
It'd be like one McDonald's giving out free junior chickens and the other one not. It's like you have to do it.
Like, what? What is going on? I was just like, did I screw up? But anyway, it was really good. Thai food, and the Thai food was good. It
actually came in clutch because that day Richard messaged me and he was like, I want to buy all the girls like a round of drinks, so like buy them around, like let me know how much. And I was like, perfect, because we thought we were getting a free drink today and we're not, so now we are getting a free drink. So
literally our fairy godfather,
we love you so much, thank you. But the Thai food was really good. Like honestly, it was probably a good thing we didn't drink all day and all night again, because we did have a really big night that night. So after we leave for brunch, we go walk around the strip. We buy like all the souvenirs, which is super fun. Where did we walk around? What did we see?
And we got those big slushy drinks.
Oh yeah, we got the big slushy drinks. We did like mystery shots. Yeah. Got souvenirs. Didn't find a tattoo shop, unfortunately. Yeah.
What else did we do? We did some gambling.
I was up and then I was down.
I know. It was up and down, up and down. Honestly, it's crazy being in the casino there, because I'm like looking around, seeing how much money these people are losing around, and they're like thousands of dollars in a second at roulette, and I'm like, oh my God. Meanwhile, I'm like $30 and it's like black, boom, all gone. You're like, damn.
The heck. It is pretty exhilarating when you do win.
Yes.
Like I was playing blackjack and on one hand I got a blackjack and I was just like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then after that we were getting ready to go to Zouk, which was my favorite club out of all the clubs we went to. I loved Zouk the best, you guys. Would highly recommend. And it's a newer club and we hadn't really heard a lot about it, so we were kind of like, what's it gonna be like? No, we got there and it was much smaller than Omnia, but still like big.
I like the vibe there a lot more because again, it's smaller. It's not like 3 levels, and you felt like, I don't know, it was just more intimate. But I'm sorry, I say intimate, but bigger than any club we have here.
Literally double, triple
the size. And we also had a booth there with like 2 bottles, and it was just so funny because when we get there, it was like still pretty early. I think it was like 10:30, 11 we get there, and there's so many staff at this place, and there's probably 2 staff per person that's in the club. So we get there, we get 2 bottles. This girl has our bottle in her hand and she's just like kind of like like dancing for a little too long.
No, when I say it was like 5 minutes, like which felt like an eternity, like I was just waiting for her to pour it. She just kept dancing with it, and like Anita Snapchatting it, like waiting for her to pour it for the Snapchat. And she's like, oh my God, I'm running out of time on my Snapchat. Like when I'm gonna have to edit this video, like what are you gonna pour it, girl? Like what is going on? And she would like kind of take it and like tease you, and I'm like, dude, like let's go. So after 17 minutes, she poured us all a drink. But I will say too, like they want you to drink fast. They pour you, like it's not like little cups like in Ottawa. Like it's big cups. They're strong drinks. And then without even asking if you want to or not, they just start making you shots with like the rest of the liquor and like whatever juices they have.
And they're just like, here you go. And you're like, what? And you're like, I don't even know if I want a shot right now. Like they're just pushing because they want you to finish the alcohol. So you either buy more, you know what I mean? They're trying to push it.
They're smart. I will say too, like they're so good at like keeping the table clean and organized. Like you take a shot, you put it down. Someone's hand is, before you even have a chance to touch it to the table, someone's hand is taking it and putting it where it needs to be. You take a napkin, you mess something up, they organize everything
literally
perfectly.
They put the bottle service girls here to shame. Like here, it's like you're done, your juice, and you're like,
where's my server?
You're like, can I get some juice? Can I get some ice? There, like I would make a drink with like the pineapple juice. I would put it down. Literally, a new pineapple juice has already arrived. You use like a lime. There's all these new limes, and you're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like
it's crazy.
They would bring a thing of ice when we're not even close to finishing our ice, and they would just dump the rest of our ice. Like there was like fresh ice.
Fresh.
Crazy. So we're there, we're partying, and then literally, guys. So maybe we've talked about this on the pod, but me and Hannah are obsessed with Southern Hospitality. It's like a show on Bravo. The entire cast of Southern Hospitality walks into this club with cameramen. They're shooting season 3 of Southern Hospitality in this club, and we're like, what is going on?
Their booth is right behind ours.
Like literally right behind.
They're right there.
Like we could touch them if we wanted to. It was so close. And then we're like, do we play it cool? Like we don't know them. Thank God Hannah's just like that brave child who's just like, I'm going to talk to them. Like she goes and she
what do we got to lose? Literally nothing.
So she goes up to Joe Bradley, starts talking to him, starts talking to Maddie. And then she goes, Romina, like come. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go and like talk to them. We get a photo with them with some random person's phone. Never probably going to get that photo.
So sad.
But it was just like cool to like talk to them because they're just so normal.
Yeah.
And then literally Joe Bradley follows Hannah on Instagram. So crazy.
Wild.
And they're just like really nice. Like everyone was pretty nice. Like we got to talk to them. I also talked to Grace, which was so funny because she's dancing by herself in the booth. I literally go up to her. I'm like, hey girl, so nice to see you. And then she goes, so nice to see you, as if like we know each other, because these guys are also bottle service people. So I feel like that happens to them a lot where they don't know someone and they're like, oh my God, so nice to see you.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, so she was like, oh my God, it's so nice to see you. Like, girl, you look good. And I'm like, oh, you look good. And we're just dancing. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what's
I have a video of you like dancing with her and you just like look at the camera and you're like, yeah. But then she was so sweet too. I can't remember if she was talking to you or Hannah and you guys mentioned you're at a bachelorette and she's like, oh my God, like, where's the bride?
Yes, Maddie was like, where's the bride? I need to see her, da-da-da. So then we bring Tash down and she like talks to you. I can't wait till you watch the show and then you're like,
now that I'm done both Love Islands, I'm all caught up in the UK and done US, I'm gonna watch it
because it's like when you told me about Mauricio and I had never watched like Real Housewives. Now that I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my God, I met him. Like it's kind of crazy, you know, like it's cool now because you're like, oh my God, I met him, but at the time you're like, whatever, this is just like a random person, you know. So anyway, it's really cool.
So wild.
So I'm like, are we gonna be in the background of like these guys dancing in Bravo?
We're gonna have to wait and see.
Season 3, like
can't wait.
So that was nuts.
That was insane. And then we get kicked out of our booth because again, some rich guy bought the booth and they looked so lame. This guy comes, buys our booth. We're done our bottle at that point. And like 3 guys are sitting there for like a while and we're just like, okay, so we're just kind of like bouncing around. We're kind of like in the like dance floor area. We're also like talking to the Southern Hospitality people. Rwana is getting a little bit, what's the word? Like skeptical if we're going to get like an actual like booth or not. Because our friend Danny or someone is like, oh, I got a booth for you. I'm getting you a booth. And
yes,
like,
it was like the promoter's runner. There's so, guys, I was on group chats on WhatsApp with like 15 different people, like just being like, like, Danny will take care of you tonight. It's like, who the frig is Danny?
like,
and then who like Johnny?
Yeah.
And, like, whatever. There's so many people. So I was
Too
like,
many.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
So we're waiting, and Romy's like, just keep dancing. Like, it's going to work out. Like, dance. Like, she's like a dance mom being like, shake your ass, like, now. Like, getting a
guys,
booth.
we need to dance right now. And like, every time.
Alcohol for free on this trip. We are not paying for anything. Marina walks around. She finds some guys.
Like random like Turkish
Didn't
guy.
he speak Farsi?
Oh yes, one of the guys was literally Persian. He goes, "Are you Persian?" I'm like, "Yes." And then he goes, "Oh, I knew she was Persian." Da-da. And then I'm like, "Oh," and they were guys, probably the richest ones that we hung out with that weekend because they had the sickest booth. They had so much alcohol, so much Ace of Spades, like
Dom, like not like the big bottles
non-stop.
of Dom.
They're just like, "Oh, tell your friends to come." I'm like, "Perfect, Rowan, put that menu down. We're going over here." Like,
if you want to buy a bottle, that's cool. But we're gonna go hang out over here with the free Dom.
yeah.
These guys again, really cool group of guys. It was funny because when we first got there, the groom was like really like timid and shy, like kind of like, oh hi, like very polite. And then like by the end of the night, this guy's like wearing my bride hat, just like pouring Dom in like Shauna's mouth, just like living it up. I'm like, okay, like you're fun. You're
And
a
they
fun
literally
guy.
got a sign that said like "Game Over."
I don't even remember his name. I know I obviously remember Matt from the other one,
Yeah.
but he had like a different kind of name, and I'm like, I'm
remember
probably
any
not gonna
other
remember
names.
that.
Bro, it's also so loud. Like people, you're not really talking to the people. Like there's just
Yeah.
like, you're like, "Hey," like, "Woo," and that's it. Like that's
Yeah.
the conversation. Like it's so loud. Like you're just like with your friends, like dancing. Like you're not
Yeah.
really talking to these guys. You're
It's
like, "Thanks
true.
for the drinks."
Yeah, we're making you guys look less lame by having like girls here.
Yeah.
And their booth was a sick spot. We had such a great view of the DJ. And then James Hype comes out, you guys. And I'm so happy we chose him for our Saturday night DJ. Like he brought the energy. He literally brought the hype.
Yes. If you're a guy, I got back from this trip and I'm like, Faraz, like it was so fun. You're never going to Las Vegas.
You will never get to
You'll
go.
Never look at these
So
videos.
sorry.
But you'll never get to go because it's so expensive being a guy there. Like if you're not a girl, don't go.
Yeah,
it's so
unless you have
expensive.
a shit ton of unless you have a shit ton of money. Yeah, like talk to these guys, like, what do you do? They're like finance, sales, and I was like, okay.
6'5", blue eyes.
Yeah, I'm like perfect. I see the bill's like $16,000. I'm like,
No, literally. I was like, how much is everything? And they're like, oh, well, it's some 10,000 minimum spend, but like we've definitely hit over that. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, thanks, bye.
That was a great night. We stayed really late that night, and I want to say like shout out to Anita and Reagan for being troopers because they had to like wake up at like 9 a.m. the next day, and they not once were like, let's call it, like I'm gonna go home. They just like fully sent it until we all left, and then we walk out and there's the most amazing pizza spot right when we walk out of the club. I think like saved all of our lives that night.
That pizza was so good. I was still thinking about that pizza.
It was
so
like one of those
good.
big slices. I like ended up folding it over into like a sandwich. It was
so good.
so good.
Also, the only thing we probably spent money on, like at the club, at any club that weekend, was like at one point we were really thirsty, and then Shauna goes, "Oh my god, guys, let me go get some water for everyone." She goes and buys 8 like bottles of
Tiny
water,
waters.
They're like the ones that are 2 sips, and it was $150 USD, like $200.
No, it was 150 Canadian.
Oh, 150 Canadian.
Yeah, so it was like 120, so
whatever.
$10 US.
$100 for 8 like sips of water. It was insane. I
Yeah.
was like, what is going on? So just imagine that's water. Imagine like how much alcohol was. Like
I don't even want to know.
it's just
don't show me a menu.
No, don't
tell me.
Don't tell me.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God. No, that was so fun. And then the next day we like wake up and our boy, Jay Patel, who our promoter, like hooked it up at 2 day clubs, which was really nice. And we had a really late flight. So
yeah, we were leaving Sunday. I was supposed to leave at 11 p.m. or 11:30. I can't remember. So we're like, okay, what are we going to do all day? And this guy was so nice. He's literally like, I have a booth at Marquee. That's a really nice day club. Like, do you guys want to come? Like, free food, free drinks. Like, we can hang out. Like, you guys, he was basically like, you guys have been like so good all weekend. Like, you show up when you're supposed to show up, like on time. Like, this is basically like my like thank you to you guys. So, and we hadn't met him yet at this point, right? So we're like, okay, like, what's he going to be like? And we go to Marquee and we meet him, and he is so nice.
He's also like 23. He's a baby.
He's a baby.
And he thought we were all like 25, 26. I'm like, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jay. You are so sweet. And yeah, he brings us to a booth like right by the DJ, and the DJ was smashing it, like so good. Like we get up there and they're like, oh, do you want vodka or tequila? And I was like, oh, we've been having vodka all weekend. So like, why don't we have some tequila? We get there. Vodka and tequila. I was like, oh, perfect.
Thank you so much.
They bring out this fresh fruit platter, like fajitas or quesadilla, whatever it was, like all this stuff. Like Jay's making us shots. We're drinking. We're dancing. Like the vibes were so high.
So high. And we're like, we're not making our flight. He kept being like, you guys aren't making your flight. And we're like, meh.
We're like, we got to go home. We got to go home.
And then after that, he was like, hey guys, like my manager is actually celebrating his birthday at Wet Republic and DJ Pauly D is playing. Like, do you guys want to come? He has like a sick cabana there. And we're like, sure. Like,
and we're like, sold.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Because originally I think his plan was he was going to ditch us and go there. But then he's like, oh wait, you guys are really fun. You're really cool. Like, I want you to like meet my manager and like come hang out. So we're like, oh my God, thank you so much.
So we go, and it's like really nice because it's so hot, but this cabana is like completely like closed off. Like it's like, you know, has like a roof and then has fans and has a private pool, and then we can literally see DJ Pauly D like right there.
Yeah, it was insane. Like so good. Growing up on Jersey Shore, I was like, no way that Pauly D is right there. I'm like, I feel like I've met so many famous people in my life at this point. Like, this is crazy. And also it's like we were just watching Jersey Shore, me and Farza just recently rewatched it, and I'm like, this is nuts. And we're so close to him. Like, guys, we were just like, we could touch him. Like, it was so freaking close. Like, it was insane.
It was so fun.
We were there. Then they had to leave a bit earlier than us because it was his manager. Literally until they kick us out pretty much.
The guy was like folding towels.
The whistles were going off. They're like, everyone get the fuck out of the club. We're like, oh shit. Okay. We like leave in our wet bathing suits. Like we have to go back to Planet Hollywood to get our luggage from the room. We change and we're like, okay, well, what can we do? We have like an hour before we go to the airport. Let's gamble more money. So we walk around, we gamble some more money. We lose and we're like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. At this point, like we're starting, like the hangover starting to kick in. We're like, okay, maybe it's time we call this.
We call Vegas. We did it. We conquered. We did it all.
We did it all. We get to the airport. Our flight is delayed, of course.
Yeah. It was so funny because just like different vibes at this airport, like with our friends, like, so it's like me and Tash are like the organized ones, and I would say like, no, we're like all pretty organized, but then it's so funny because we're all like pretty like tipsy at this point, like we've been drinking all day, but we're not like hammered. And then Alex is like, I don't even know where my passport is, and we're like, oh no. So she like opens up,
I'm like,
her
what do you mean you don't have like a special pocket for your passport that's in this pouch that's in a specific, like, what do you mean you don't have a spot for it?
So she like opens it up, and it's so funny. I literally think of this moment still. It's like I was crying laughing, like my stomach hurts from laughing. She like opens up her suitcase. It's in like some random like bag with like her bathing suit. It's just like in there, and she's like, oh, found it. And we're like dying laughing. Meanwhile, Rowan has this bag with like just filled to the brim with like random
there's
stuff.
a book in there. I'm like, what are you reading? The Bible? Like, no.
She's just like, we're like, she's hanging out with us, but she has a different flight, and we're like, Ron, like,
she's going back to London, UK also, you guys. Like, she's going on a 9-hour overnight flight back to the UK, which is insane.
And we're like, girl, like, you have a flight to catch, like, you gotta go. And she's like, no, it's fine. Like, me and you are like, we gotta get there 3 hours early. Like, we gotta see where our gate is. It's like 20 minutes before she has to board, and she's like hanging out with us. And
yeah,
I'm like,
we're at Carl Jr.'s. Eating some burgers.
She's not even eating. She's just hanging out with us. I'm like, where is your gate? Like,
she's like, oh, it's right there. The wheelchair people are still there, so we're good. I'm like, oh my God, you're so funny. Oh my gosh.
God, they were killing it. Like, that was the most fun I've ever had in an airport. I was laughing so hard. My stomach was hurting just because it was just like hilarious. Everything was so funny.
Everything was so funny. And also, I just want to say one of my favorite parts about this trip too, I forgot to say, I forget which night it was, but one of the nights before we went out, you guys, Anita specifically, like put together this video for me that was so cute and so sweet. It had like old photos of me with everyone. Each one of the girls like said a little video, like basically telling me like how much they love me and why they love me. And honestly, it was one of the sweetest things I've ever gotten in my whole life. So
cute. No, Anita killed it. She's so cute.
Oh my God, the like happy music in the background, and, like all the little pictures and animations. It's so freaking sweet, and I love getting these little kind of gifts like that. That makes like, that's the best part.
No, you're like, we were like, we need to like do something like the sentimental gifts are always the best.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm going to watch that like forever.
So honestly, sweet. Like that group of girls, like we just had such a good time the whole time. Even like one of the nights we like had a pre-drink in our room, and it was like one of my favorite moments.
The Saturday night pre-drink was the best. So fun.
We played so many rounds of Cheers Governor. And like just like so many funny moments.
So many hilarious Polaroid photos, digital camera photos. Like I couldn't have asked for a better bachelorette trip. Like thank you so much. I know you put in so much time and so much effort into planning it, and it was the best.
I'm so happy.
It was the best. You killed it. You guys
so
all
fun.
Killed it.
Honestly, the best girls trip that I've ever been on.
Oh my God.
It was so fun.
And it's funny because then we got back like Monday at like 9 a.m. and I'm like dying. I like literally slept till 5 p.m. woke up. I'm like, I have no voice. Like I'm sick. And I'm like, I'm never drinking. Like I can't go back to Vegas like ever again. Like left it all on the table. And then like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rolls around. Like, Friday, I'm kind of like, I'm ready. Let's book another flight. Like, let's do it. I want to run it back. It was so, I'm never leaving. It was so fun.
No, Vegas if you've never been to Vegas, guys, this is your like sign.
Book the flight.
Go to
Planet Hollywood.
Go to Planet Hollywood. But be with the girls. If you're trying to be, if you want it to be a cheap trip, go with the girls because it's going to be a lot cheaper. We didn't spend a lot of money on this trip. Honestly think I spent the same as going to like a weekend in Montreal than on this Vegas trip. Like
literally,
it was a very budget friendly trip.
It was, and that was the goal because I know it's so funny. We're like on the train, and I'm like, guys, I'm having so much fun already on the train. Like I could go home now and I'd be happy. Like I'm just a simple girl, and you guys are like, bitch, you're not simple. We're going to Vegas right now. You're going to Italy for your wedding. Like you are not simple.
Every person we met in Vegas, they're like, oh my God, so fun. When's the wedding? And like, is it in Ottawa? Like, or is it in Canada? We're like, no, it's in Italy. They're like, damn, girl.
Yeah,
they're
like
Italy and Vegas. Like you got it all.
They're like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Like, who's your husband? They're like asking all these questions, like who you're marrying. I'm like,
but because we were going to Italy, I did really want this to be like a budget friendly trip, and I can like confidently say like I feel like it was for everybody. 100%. So
I definitely spent more money on my fits than when we did that.
Yeah, I spent more money on my fits than I did on the trip, honestly, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And that's a wrap, guys.
That's a wrap.
I knew we were going to need a full episode. I didn't think it would take this long, but once we got talking, I just didn't want to leave out that many details because it was just so fun.
No, we had to tell you guys everything.
Had to tell you. If you have any questions, ask us. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
And
guys, we're about to go to Italy. So we have some pre-recorded episodes that are going to be dropping. They're really good episodes. I'm really excited about them. But yeah, we're just going to be...
Yeah, we're gonna be living our life, and we'll be posting a lot of Italy content. Yes. So look out for us in the Amalfi Coast.
And then the next time we see you, she's gonna be a married woman.
I'm gonna be a married woman.
Oh my God,
Mrs. Dickey.
Okay.
Okay, we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.